welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL. We're in sunny Sydney for this one, but it is not so sunny and bright inside the Kings locker room right now. They are desperate for wins, and Brad Rosen, the task does not get much tougher than this. They have the ladder-leading Melbourne United, who themselves are coming off a fabulous win.
Joe cannot wait for today. Sydney versus Melbourne. Melbourne were great against Brisbane on Friday night, but today Kings, well, they weren't great against Southeast, but they'll be pumped for this one.
Plenty to play for as we get down to the pointy end of the season. It's the defending champion Sydney Kings up against the ladder-leading Melbourne United coming up.
Jalen Adams, MVP level finish. Look, he's been unbelievable and he's probably the MVP of the league right now.
Ball in the hands of Golding. It's going up. It's going in.
Gave it to the hot hand of Denzel Valentine.
Porty goes upstairs and throws it down.
Oh, boy!
Where did that come from?
Here's Travers down Main Street and throws it down.
Well, today, it's crunch time for the Sydney Kings. The two-time defending champions have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and with only 3 games remaining after this, it's become very, very serious. Their opponents, Melbourne United, were back to their very best on Friday night with a resounding win in Brisbane. Great to have your company in front of a big crowd here at Kudos Bank Arena. Round 17 action in the Hungry Jacks NBL. I'm Jack Heverin, alongside Derek Rucker and Brad Rosen, and the stakes could not be any higher for the Kings, gentlemen.
No doubt about that, Jack. And the Sydney Kings faced the best team in the competition in Melbourne United. We saw what they did Friday night on the road in Brisbane. They took the heart and soul out of the Brisbane Bullets. And the Sydney Kings, Brad, will have to be at their absolute best, especially defensively, to have any chance in this one.
You are so right, Derek. The Kings, well, they got done on Thursday night against the Phoenix. We saw this a few weeks ago against Adelaide, and then they came back and were outstanding against New Zealand. That is the minimum they need to be today.
Here's the starting 5 for the Sydney Kings. No Jalen Galloway, out with a shoulder injury. DJ Hogue still out of this team. So Angus Glover coming into the starting lineup.
And Angus Glover is a player that you wanted to see more of all throughout this season. He gets a big chance today because he's got the assignment to cool down Chris Golding.
Yeah, good luck. Everyone's tried that, but I love it. I love the fact that he is renowned for his defense, his energy, and he will come on tonight. We've seen what he can do at the highest level as well in a grand final series, so love what they're doing.
For Melbourne United, their starting 5 will include Ian Clark, who was involved in an incident late in the game on Friday with a screen. He came off second best against Aaron Baines, has been cleared, and will start this afternoon against his former team.
Well, Ian Clark is flirting with a 50-40-90 season. He is an outstanding role player to have on that Melbourne United team. We know he's a championship-level player based on what he did here with the Kings, Brad. This is going to be a fantastic one.
Cannot wait.
So Alex Tui standing next to Chris Golding at the opening tip. That might be the assignment for the youngster this afternoon. Must-win game for the Sydney Kings. And we are underway at Kudos Bank Arena after we just witnessed a thriller between the Illawarra Hawks and the New Zealand Breakers. Third meeting of the season between the two teams, and Dellavedova found Hook Porty. He lost it. Clark short with his first look. And an early foul on the Kings.
And right away, you see Melbourne United attacking the paint. I thought Matthew Dellavedova played one of his best games of the season the other night, Brad, in Brisbane. Despite only scoring 8 points, he was getting that ball into positions on the court that helped his teammates be extremely effective in that one.
Beautiful point guard role. Not only did it allow that, Huck Porty was able to get the offensive rebound as they go upstairs and one.
Great dime from Dellavedova on the baseline, inbound. And you can see, to continue my point, he's altered his role, Brad. He only took 4 shots the other night. If we look at the replay, and we get a curling Travers, long, athletic, and skilled, he finishes that one easily.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Derek, because for me, a lot of people are talking about Paris and when he was scoring all those points, we need him to do. He is one of the best in the world at a role player. He got to the highest level playing that role. That's what he's so good at. And you know, one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's brilliant at that.
16-point victors on Friday night in Brisbane, Melbourne. And Sydney coming off a 6-point loss to an undermanned Southeast Melbourne Phoenix that was probably the darkest point of their season so far.
This way, came off 22.
That's what I love about Melbourne. Delhi overplayed, they went back door, but the help defense from Huck Porty was there, created them to have to do something different, and they get the turnover.
Travers takes it at Tui. Strong rebound by Jordan Hunter. Returns 27 on Tuesday. What are we looking for from a Sydney point of view, Brad and Derek, after what we saw on Thursday in the first 2 or 3 minutes in this one this afternoon?
Well, first off, it's the first quarter. Their energy has been awful in that first quarter. Phoenix were able to get off very easily and get all open looks. Melbourne, they've put 40 and 35 in both games in quarters against the Sydney Kings. They can't allow that to happen today. So right now, energy.
Clark slips over. Valentine misses from underneath. Stole it away from Hook Porty.
And my point was going to be offensive execution, which I thought was very good right there. Got a great look for Valentine as Golding pulls one early from the top. That's how he started off in this arena on Friday night. He gets the same look coming towards his left foot rotation, Brad, into his jumper. Great for a right-hander to get that shot.
And that's why, if I'm starting Glover, I don't want that defensive transition where you pick someone else up. Glover, you stay on Chris Golding. That way you can fight over quicker than our four-man getting over that screen, because he's so tough coming off that.
He's knocked down 3 or more 3 balls in 15 straight games, Chris Golding. He's shooting the lights out at the moment. Adams on his way to the basket. An important early bucket for him.
And Adams has been good without being dominating this season as Golding feeling his rhythm. Misses from deep.
Long rebound for Dellavedova, who's also trying to be aggressive. Hook Porty got to his left hand, and that's a wild one.
High energy up in here right now, Jack.
Yeah. Everyone knows what's at stake. Kings fans have a fairly large amount of nervous energy in the venue, it must be said. Travers had Hook Porty running the lane. What athleticism from the big man.
Athleticism and a great dexterity. He got that ball off of a tough pass, finished high above his head. Brad, you kind of feel like you wish you were playing right now, right?
I do, but I love that you brought thesaurus out on that word as well. You were outstanding with your words today already, Derek. And it's only the first quarter. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back to what you were saying, bro. That defense by Delhi is outstanding. He is playing as hard as anyone out there. And not only that, when he got the ball, the kick up to Travis. Great ball up.
Well, in the 2 meetings this season, Jalen Adams has only scored 9 points and 8 points. He's averaging 20 across the season. Hunter steps out.
We know that's a part of his game and something he's been effective with at critical times for the Sydney Kings over the past couple of seasons. They needed that one right there just to continue to build confidence within this game. They keep letting Golding shoot easy threes like that, they're going to be destroying their confidence.
United by 1, early stages. Big time game, big time atmosphere. Adams is fouled. Clark with his hands in. He's shooting free throws.
Derek, just to go further with what you're saying, and it's a great point you make about the offensive end for the Sydney Kings. Melbourne's defense are outstanding. This help defense is the best in the league, the way they control that. So Sydney have to be crisp and on point today.
But not only that help defense, they're on-ball perimeter point of attack defenders. Shea Illy's not even in the game, and he's one of the best in the business, if not in the whole competition at on-ball defense. And what Melbourne United have the ability to do with Clark and Golding, who aren't great defenders, but yet they're savvy. They have high basketball IQ. They can pick up anybody in transition and still feel comfortable with their defensive proficiency.
Kings in front for the first time. It hasn't been a happy hunting ground of late, Kudos Bank Arena. They've lost 3 of their last 4 in this venue, which across their last 2 seasons when they've won championships, they've been unstoppable on their home floor. Porty straight at Jordan Hunter.
An underrated attribute of both these Melbourne big men. They can take you off the dribble. JLA, we know what type of skills he has off putting it off the deck, and we saw Porty get his right there.
Valentine unsuccessful. Kings can reset. Shot clock at 9. Ball movement has been crisp, but Melbourne have got the answers defensively. Adams is always the answer when he puts the ball on the floor.
Well, I'm liking this Sydney Kings. That defensive stop they score, but that defensive presence was good. Look how they're playing, and there's a moving screen. If Adams is not up on the ball with Delhi, then those screens don't happen, so the energy is good in here for Sydney. But look at these substitutions coming in, Derek.
Well, Brad, you're used to living a luxury lifestyle, and Dean Vickerman lives one as a coach. He brings in Shea Illy and Joe Lawala-Chul Jr. off the bench midway through this first quarter. This game's a 10 out of 10 right now, Jack.
Joe Lawala-Chul checks in after a career-high 33 points on Friday. His Glover short with his first look. And he's returned since round 15, Joe Lawala-Chul, for personal reasons. Clark drives. Unsuccessful. Energy from the Kings early has been good. Tui in the corner. That rattles out. To the groans of the Kudos Bank Arena crowd.
High expectations on that offensive possession, but it was good basketball, Jack. Good passing, penetration.
Joe Healy courtside, good afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Jack, you talk about the nervous energy in the arena here. I spoke to Coach Mood before the game. He mentioned that the Kings players are feeling pretty good and locked in regardless of recent results, and in particular that loss to Phoenix. But certainly speaking to people around the club pre-game, they're not as convinced. You kind of get the feeling, though, that the crowd are into this, they're excited, and given the good start that they've had, things will settle here.
And that's a very good point from Joe. There's high energy in here, and sometimes it takes a minute, Brad, for the crowd to die down. But when you're looking at the Sydney Kings offense, I was about to make the point, it looks like they're moving the ball well. They look a lot crisper with their passing. The shots aren't quite dropping yet, despite the high quality level. They're 1 of 3 from the three, but if they can continue to play like that, I think it will assist their defense tremendously.
You wrapped it perfectly. They're not overdriven. They're kicking the ball on, and that's when they look good.
Valentine, 13 on Thursday. That time lost it. The pressure of Shea Illy is always a factor. Golding falling away on Malawatch. Rattles out. Melbourne 4 of 11 from the field to start this game. Jonah Bolden foul and one.
Well, there's the positive and negative. I felt Valentine over-dribbled that last possession, and then there was a turnover. But that time, great pass to Bolden, who finishes nicely on the rim.
What a treat this is, as far as if you're a fan of the big men here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Jordan Hunter and Jonah Bolden up against Joe Lawala-Chul Jr. and Jordan Hunter.
You got youth, you got athleticism, and they all possess attributes and skills that are so unique and so different across the 4 guys, Brad.
Yep.
Jonah Bolden, potentially with the highest upside of all of them. Well, he's actually been in the NBA, so that's not some crazy point I'm trying to make. But when you look at trying to get him back into the game and at that level, he's a key asset.
There is a bit of upside on him, I agree with you, but he has been there. You are right.
48 games with the 76ers and then spent some time with Phoenix after that. It's been great to have him back in the league this season. He's got his hands full here, trying to stop Joe Lawala-Chul Jr. Rebound for Kawatnoy. And it's the Kings who lead by 2. 4:29 remaining. Bolden on the move.
Well, that's 2 great possessions from Jonah. Firstly, great defense to be able to hold JLA and make him into a tough shot. And that's the second foul for him. And then to take it at him on the offensive end.
And that's where Brisbane were not able to put JLA under pressure the other night. All great offensive players, you gotta make them play some amount of defense. So they know they're in a 2-win game, that they're just not playing offense the whole time out here.
And his return from a knee injury on Thursday, Jonah Bolden. He lost to Southeast Melbourne. Made a good start to this game.
Certainly has. We saw Dean Vickerman roll the dice in Brisbane the other night and leave Dellavedova on the floor when he was in foul trouble. Normally 2 fouls this early. You get your pull from the game.
Bucket for Ian Clark. Kings fly up the other end. Malawatch against his former team. Straight into the game with impact.
Well, it's when they're at their best. It's when they, even on scores, you go hard. I thought that was pretty ordinary defense by the Kings to allow the layup, but then they go hard at this. Great move, and man, he has been giving them some minutes over the last few games.
Career high 18 points last Sunday here against Perth. Quach Malawatch. It's been a couple of seasons with Melbourne United.
In these first 6 minutes, Jack, it appears the Kings have a bit more electricity about them, got a little bit more pop to them than Melbourne United. And more importantly, they're shooting 2 shots on every foul for the rest of this quarter.
That one's on Jalen Adams. You just can't allow that. As he's about to come over the screen there, he allowed him to fake and then go to the left.
Don't forget, of course, the ultimate VIP experience could be all yours at NBL.com.au/no-ball-comp. Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley, who's in the house today.
He is sitting over there next to Bogues.
Scottie Pippen, the no-ball tour will be in Sydney, it'll be in Melbourne, it'll be in Hobart. Tickets are selling fast.
Like, I can't wait to see Horace Grant, because from what I understand, he is not going to hold back Derek. He's going to be let loose with what he's got, and I think he's going to tell some great stories. There's the great man. Yeah, he's smiling. He knows what Horace is going to say, that's why.
We're certainly living in the land of privilege, where we have the opportunity to have so many greats come visit our shores and share experiences.
You're loving that word today, that's twice.
What?
Privilege, you're liking that.
It's the story of Derek's life.
Yeah.
Really. Adams lost the handle. Porty has Hilly riding shotgun. They swing to Clark in the corner. He throws up an air ball. He might yet claim that as an assist.
I'm sure he will. How good's Bowen for this team? You know, everyone needs those type of players. Hiram Harris comes to mind when you think of Perth. Just guys that do the dirty work. And always there. Look at him in good position, gets it, up fakes, bang, goes down, takes the hit hard, but he will keep playing. It's been great for them this year, Derek.
Yeah, he's certainly a different type player, and someone I foresee potentially having a long-standing role with Melbourne United. Rebounds the ball well, shoots it better than you think, and just has the knack, as you said, for finding the basketball where others can't.
The product of St Mary's, which has been such a factory for Australian basketballers. So one thing you know about Aussies that go to St Mary's, Brad, is they are taught the right way.
100%. Educated basketballers. They know the game really well.
1917 at Kudos Bank Arena. Sean Bruce, like the look of that one. Golding. Off target, Bowen. Such a menace on the offensive glass. Ties it up at 19.
The other thing I like about him, Brad, he plays with some venom. He plays with the oomph about him, and not afraid to let you know when he's made a good play.
One level, and that's hard.
Adams in all sorts of trouble. Shea Ili all up in his grill and try to take it upstairs. And then Sydney throw the ball away. There is a lot happening right now.
That is 2 point cards, Derek. Oh, my goodness. He went to go upstairs. Have a look at this for a replay. What great defense, though.
Stays down in his stance, used his hands when time called for, just lost control of it a little bit. Nice elevation and effort from both guys. Shea Ili feeling a little bit worse for it.
There's the last 2 seasons, and the Shea Ili effect is real. When he plays, they win. When he's not there, they don't.
29 and 8 is pretty impressive.
Dellavedova with his feet set for 3. Melbourne certainly think that was last touched by Sydney, but...
Brad, if you haven't noticed, Dean Vickerman is now into the basketball game.
He certainly was not happy with that one. Here's the replay. Tough to see.
Very vocal on the sidelines, both coaches, in this first quarter. Bruce found Hunter rolling to the basket. His hands from Flynn Cameron. his head down, trying to bank it off the window, and does.
If you don't know by now, he is not going to wait for an invitation to try and score. He is aggressive, he's very good, and he has one of the best net ratings individually in the competition.
The depth of Melbourne United on show as Hunter, as they continue to go basket for basket in this first term, 21 apiece.
And don't underestimate the coaching here as well. Look at the team he's put on right now. Chris can do his thing like that. Cameron can get what he wants out of it, like this team.
Malawatch looks up, has only Goldie in front of him, and draws contact.
Malawatch coming in, playing with a lot of confidence. He had that big game a couple of weeks ago. We've seen the potential in glimpses, but he hasn't been provided opportunities.
Mentioned for the Kings, only 3 games left in their season after today. The most vulnerable position you can be in a competition this competitive is relying on other results.
Oh, it's a terrible feeling. Hoping that somebody you don't really like helps you out.
Valentine skates through the paint. By Tanner Krebs. An absorbing first quarter. And an offensive foul, Melbourne's second at this first term.
You never stopped. You kept running on the handoff and he took him out.
Let's have another look.
Brad?
Look, technically see how he's walking backwards, but Sean Bruce definitely, I think they may challenge this. They are a coach's challenge. And
How timely that Dean Vickerman be in this scenario after what we saw, and they were not happy about.
Gee, the feeling in this venue right now, Derek. Sean Bruce was having something to say. Dean Vickerman and Jacob Chance were talking to the officials. This is tense.
Brad, that's momentum, inertia.
it is, but I know I can't see how you can overturn that when he's moving.
What's Delhi supposed to do? You
stop. He's got to stop.
Okay.
I know you're saying it's momentum, but you've got to 2 feet stop. That left foot keeps going back.
Yes, I've got
But Sean Bruce sold it well.
This is an interesting one. I have no strong opinion either way, other than to say I'm not sure what Delhi is supposed to do. He's entitled to continue moving. Tough.
Dean Vickerman was adamant that there was nothing in it. Not that that has any influence on the result.
Jack, have you just noticed Derek is just sitting right on the fence? Just, hey, Brad, what's it going to be? I know.
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor has confirmed the illegal screen occurred before the extra action.
There's the explanation from Michael Aylen.
Fair enough.
unsuccessful. You know, he's moving into him first.
As he grabs him.
And then he grabs him. The first act is Delhi moving. And any more outbursts and you'll be getting a warning.
Come on.
All right? Don't run out on the court and yell at us. That's not...
I didn't run. I still went like this. I put my hands up. Is that...
Warning. Warning here.
Hey, we're having a conversation.
I'm not entering into continual dialogue.
Gee.
We're having a conversation.
Kind of inclined to agree with Dean on that one. There you go. Kings by 1. Adams in the mid-range.
Get
That one off the front. Hook Porty running the lanes. Work by Hunter to get a hand on it.
So, Derek, I'm going to ask you this. With Jalen, that was a timeout, a long break, and that felt over-dribbled. That wasn't a good shot. No one touched the ball, and it's like, if you make it, great, but no one else touched the ball. Now they go down the other end and do that.
There's no way they drew it up.
No.
And now we've got a coach's challenge from Sydney. We'll be here till midnight at this rate.
We've seen this before. There's a lot going in here. There's a lot of contrasting energy. Sydney understand this is it for them today. They need to get this game. The way the ladder looks, it's not in their favor. You look at this here.
Challenging the pushing foul.
Brad, you're on a hot streak with the challenges. I'm going to leave this to you.
Appreciate that, Derek. Thank you. That's not going to be overturned. You've got to protect the guy in the air. And to me, whilst I like the D from Hunter, no, that's a foul. You've got to allow him to land. What's the difference there than when there's a three-point shooter going up and shooting the ball?
Yes, I got you. Dangerous play. He's not allowed space to land. He's taking his legs out there.
I mean, love the energy. I'm not saying it was anything he meant to do or hurt or anything.
Yep, that's correct, Scott. After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. We will restart with 2 shots to blue 15.
So that's it. Both teams have burnt their challenges in the first quarter.
Good. We don't have to have these awkward discussions about whether we're right or wrong, Brad. We can just move on.
They weren't awkward. You just said, Brad, you sit on it.
It's a very interesting strategy from both teams here to burn their reviews so early. We saw in the Illawarra game just gone that Justin Tatum used one early.
It's pressure. And, you know, coaches feel it. And everyone's looking for the slightest advantage. And right now, Melbourne United have a major advantage in that they've taken 21 shots to the Kings' 4 teams. The Kings have 6 turnovers already in the first quarter. They've probably really let Melbourne United off the hook because I feel the Kings have played a pretty good first quarter. They've looked much better defensively. And overall, despite a few bad possessions, I think they've tried to move the ball and get good looks at times.
It's the little things, isn't it? 6 turnovers and 4 offensive rebounds is 10 possessions more. When you look at Melbourne, it's 2 turnovers and 2 offensive boards. Such different contrast.
After all of that, we've still got 30 seconds left in this first term.
Still the first quarter.
It has had everything. Shot clock rolls down to 10. Valentine over dribbles. Brad Rosen throws his head back and Melbourne swiftly get to the other end. 5 on the clock. Illy steps back for 3. Got it! 3 ball is good with 1 to come.
An excellent awareness from Flynn Cameron to dish that ball at the right time. Valentine got rocked a little bit. Not sure there was much of a foul, but Illy steps back on him, knocks down the 3 ball. 1 to come.
Harvey Norman replay, Brad. There's millimeters in it.
Well, I'm not looking at that, and I'm looking at the other end when we over-dribble. You just got to be able to stop that and pass that ball.
He takes care of the extra. Jordan Hunter plays the role of quarterback and very nearly found someone in the end zone. It's a 4-point lead to Melbourne at quarter time. All on the line for the Sydney Kings this afternoon. And the atmosphere inside Kudos Bank Arena reflects that as well. Quarter time on Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. There's 3 rounds to go in the Hungry Jacks NBL regular season. It may as well have started today. The Sydney Kings and Melbourne United doing battle at Kudos Bank Arena in a must-win game for the Kings. And it's United who lead by 4 at quarter time, 26-22. Derek Rucker, Brad Rose.
Well, Brad, I mean, you look at the Sydney Kings' performance in that first quarter, 8 turnovers. They're only down 4, but 2 turnovers in the final minute of that quarter was a serious turnaround from what could have been an outstanding first quarter to a below-average one.
You're so right, Derek, and you said it in quarter time there as Glover goes upstairs and dunks it. Not only that, it's a 4-point play to end it as well, so you are right.
Earlier today, the Illawarra Hawks defeated the New Zealand Breakers in a thriller in the gong, 89-85, just to make the playoffs and the play-in race all the more interesting. Here's the Harvey Norman, Angus Glover. Starting this afternoon, see a lot of him in the first quarter, Brad. That's his first field goal of the game.
Well, he's one of those players that can turn this Sydney Kings energy and play, and they just need those additional minutes with that, and he can really help them.
Joe Healy, you were listening in at quarter time.
I was listening in to the Kings. They were pretty positive, I must say, Coach Mood, happy with their offense and the pressure that they're putting on the rim. But as Derek alluded to, they weren't happy with how they finished that quarter and want to up the energy here in the second.
Jalen Adams trying to find a way through, and does. Good start for the Kings. Early timeout from Melbourne. A minute into the second term, we're locked away at 26.
Well, I think Dean Vickerman was feeling exactly what I am, and I think the Kings are playing with the right intent. Their energy and the vibe looks good, and this is what Vickerman is really worried about, is Jalen Adams having an impact. That's too easy. On his right hand, Luke Travers knows better than that. That'd be a major violation of the scout.
Well, you're right, 4 points they've scored. One's a dunk and the other's a layup. That's why he's called the timeout, not happy at all.
Big afternoon for the Sydney Kings, and pre-game Joe Healy caught up with the coach of Sydney, Mahmoud Abdel Fattah.
Mood, you spoke after the Phoenix game about the need to be more physical. What have you done with the group? What have you said to them between now and then that's going to make sure that Melbourne do feel you guys out there?
Yeah, just the awareness. Obviously going back and watching film, we want on the floor, want to make sure that the guys are rested for today's game. But it's just being aware. And it kind of just starts with me, just making sure that the guys understand, how to do it, and me simplifying the game plan for them. So hopefully that'll help them out today.
Tough loss, obviously, but there are always positives to take. What could you take from that one that you can bring in here?
Offensively we played well. We did a lot of great things offensively. Defensively we just got to be able to get stops. And it's been like that pretty much throughout the entire season. Like I said, it starts with me just helping the guys better understand the game plan and simplifying it for them. And just being consistent for the entire 40 minutes. But offensively, we were great. Defensively, we were below average, so we just have to be better on that end of the floor.
And one of the things you noticed right there, Brad, is he talked about making things simple. If you look at some of the teams that are playing well right now, JLA inside, but simplifying the game for your players. Illawarra, Adelaide, they're playing a much simpler style, and it's leading to more success.
I love the fact that he said it starts with me, and it does. I think that's exactly what he needs to do, and let's hope that they can take that moving forward.
Lachul had the seal. The help comes from Bolden. Better defensively so far, the Kings. Adams puts Ian Clark on his backside and lays it up.
He's dancing on the Melbourne United defenders right now, getting to the cup anytime he wants.
And Clark blocked at the other end.
Well, this is the Sydney Kings that's been waiting for weeks. Have a look at this. JLA, Jonah Bolden says, not here. And then just a little bit of a dance, and he says to his old teammate, I got you in this one.
Just saw you raise your eyebrows a little, Derek Rucker. You're right, we've been here almost every Sunday this season, and we haven't seen a lot of this type of intensity from the Kings.
Well, even the non-performance leadership that we're seeing from Jalen Adams, trying to encourage his teammates, that's something that's been absent. Maybe he understands now what more is needed from him other than just play out there to help this team be better.
28 apiece. David over baseline. Great look for Travers. Knocks it down.
Great find from Delhi. Great find, Travis. That's just a big knockdown from a great play.
30% three-point shooter on the season. Bolden at the other end. A 38% three-point shooter. And they continue to go blow for blow. This time, Dellavedova. That rattles out. 0 of 2 to start the game. Adams surveying his options. At Glover baseline. Just didn't have the right amount of Irish on it. First chance for a few minutes to have a deep breath. Chul over the top of Bolden.
Bolden's done a really good job on JLA in the one-on-one matchups, allowing his teammates to stay connected to their men.
It's Tom Valentine. Relocates to the corner.
Well, that's great offense. Jonah Bolden could have shot that. He gave up a shot for a better shot. Kick, and giving it to him in the corner. Valentine knocks it down.
3 of 7 from outside in the game, Sydney. As they take a 3-point lead. Dellavedova inside for Chul. Melbourne get it back to 1. Chul has 6 points off the back of his 33 on Friday night. That's nothing but New South Wales oxygen from Jonah Bolden.
That one wasn't a good decision. Move that ball. Right now, you've got some positive momentum in your favor. Getting pretty good looks on the back of Adams. Move that ball, get Adams back into contact with it, and then play.
As a rule, they haven't been great starters, Melbourne. They've lost the first half in 6 of their last 7 games.
Derek, he's just brought off Valentine. I don't like that stuff. He's just knocked down a 3. Let him play. Thoughts?
Looking more engaged than we've seen him, and a guy who really needs to perform at a high level.
Illy trying to back in on Sean Bruce. Shea Illy's got 6 points, and Melbourne put themselves back up by 1. Second quarter on Sunday Hoops. Clark in the open floor. Make the most of his opportunity. In a very interesting matchup, he and Jalen Adams. Glover did a great job to keep it in. Malawatch lays it up, and Dean Vickerman is headless on the sidelines.
A lot of attacks on the rim and on the backboard right now from the Sydney Kings. Dean Vickerman would be irate with this offensive rebound. Great hustle there from Glover. Little flip from Bruce to Malawatch. The Kings have an opportunity right now, Brad. We've done long road trips before. You know there's that point where you're trying to decide, do I really want to compete at this level? That's what's going through Melbourne United's head right now. The Kings got to take advantage.
You're so right. Just stay on that. Keep the ball outside the 3-point line. You're happy with that? If they make it, they make it, and now go and run.
Melbourne 3 of 13 from deep. They shoot it at 36% across the season. Hook Porty shuts down Adams. Here's Glover. Kudos Bank Arena roars as the Kings lead by 4.
Well, a few weeks ago, they missed that shot, and they all stand around and watch it, but not today. They're crashing the offensive glass. This is a team that was embarrassed on Thursday night, and now they're coming out with the energy in front of this massive crowd, and there's that man Glover says, I got you.
Makes the hustle play the possession before to get them a bunny, then comes back and does the role that we know he can do at a high level, catch and shoot from deep.
And Derek, you know, and Jack, this is the difference. United are 35 points, and another miss there. That's usually 50 in this gym the last few weeks.
Just not clicking as well as Melbourne would like in this second quarter. Derek Crocker just said it. Here is the window of opportunity for the Kings. Adams going to work. Spectacular from Jalen Adams.
Well, I just love the ball went inside, outside, then they got it over here on the wing, and now look at this little shimmy, bang, takes the hit, finishes off the glass, Jalen Adams.
And Brad, we've been waiting for this type of excitement from Adams. Outstanding finish outside the frame, looks at the bench and his crew, gets some love, got a shimmy. The Kings feeling it.
13 points for the MVP from 2 seasons ago. It's a game-high 7-point lead as Angus Glover comes out. Brad Rosen pulls another strand of hair out. No Golding on the floor at the moment. Billy, a little mid-range jumper. Long rebound falls to Adams. What a pass inside for Bolden. It's all happening for the Kings right now.
And this is what these Kings fans expected in December. They wanted these types of performances with this type of tempo. Better late than never, Brad.
Well, just look at Adams playing that defense. I haven't seen that from him the majority of this year. He's playing both ends, and he's great.
They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, the Sydney Kings, and because of that, it's made today such a serious situation for them. Adams drags it out, guarded by the next star, who did a good job to use his length and trouble Adams. And there he is at the other end! Ariel Hook-Porty! Ferocious!
Oh my! You see all that skill in the next star. Coach Dean Vickerman amused with that, and look at him go up against Jonah Bolden, and he throws him and everybody in Kudos Bank Arena through the hoop.
The stop at one end, and then the way that he put his head down, Brad, and just took off and ran to the basket.
Outstanding finish. Next star, forget that. He is just outstanding.
He told us on Friday, Derek, that he wants to go to Europe after this season and just keep playing. He missed all of last season with an Achilles injury. He's going to have a big future, but that time went to sleep. And then Tui with an easy bucket at the other end.
Sean Bruce and Melbourne United coach Dean Vickerman having kind of friendly, kind of not friendly words.
The jumper from Valentine gives Sydney 48 on the board. There's still 2.5 minutes left in the first half. I don't often say that about Melbourne United teams, to have allowed this many. Golding's pass a little too hot for Hook-Porty. Bruce wide open. Double-figure lead for the home team.
Well, I'm just loving the ball movement here from the Sydney Kings. It's kick, kick, and then they're able to open it. I'm watching Sean Bruce and Chris Golding here.
It's Sean Bruce versus all of Melbourne United right now.
Turnover. Valentine to the rack. Behind the back for Noy. It might be as good as Sydney's looked all season.
The floodgates are open, and they are generating outstanding offensive looks off of good pressure defense out in the lanes, using their length and athleticism to disrupt Melbourne United offensively.
What a quarter for the Kings, and it's not done yet. Bowen. Much needed bucket for Melbourne, just to settle things slightly. All of the momentum and all of the noise right now is with the Kings as we head to halftime. The Here's the ladder as it looks right now. And this is live, so this is with Sydney in front. You can see the importance of it with Illawarra winning this afternoon, New Zealand winning the other day, and then there's also the percentage factor, Brad.
Yeah, that's just huge. Look at that, 101. That just gives you an extra game should you be tied. So they just got to keep going here, the Kings.
But it also points to the big significance of that Illawarra comeback.
And the 6th coming into today.
Well, that is smart from Tui. He went into the offensive rebound, and if he brought that down, that's not free throws. I don't think they're in the bonus. No, they wouldn't have been. But because he shot it, that allowed him to get to the free throw. That is very clever work from the next start.
Tui hasn't been much of a factor these past couple of weeks, so it's good to see him not lose confidence and find the resolve to have an impact.
This competition is one you want to be involved in. You can jump online, or you can scan the QR code on your screen right now. Flights, accommodation, all taken care of. You can win your way to sit in the Pump by Reebok seats, courtside at John Cain Arena. Yes, please.
I'm down with that. I'll even be a chaperone. Am I eligible for that? I know I can't win, but chaperones needed, Jack? No?
Derek, you walk into any venue and they let you sit wherever you want.
Thanks, Brad. Way to build my confidence up.
Sure, the winners would love to have Derek Rucker chaperone them.
I'm not sure the winners would, but okay.
Maybe not. They might want to know what coach is doing instead.
Okay, I'm number 2 on the ranking.
Last 30 seconds of the first half.
Wouldn't put you that high, by the way.
Shot clock at 6 for Valentine. Trying to get busy on Dellavedova. That little floater drops. It's been that sort of quarter for the Kings. Everything that they've done has worked. And the veteran savvy of Delhi to put his head down and draw a foul.
Well, you can't fault Matthew Dellavedova. He's been very good putting that ball on the deck and trying to create opportunities. And the tough part about this league, Brad, is you can be playing well individually, but your team may not be coming along with you, or you face a hot team like they have here today.
He's got no review.
A timeout called by the Kings.
I think he may have cancelled, or he was going to review, but he's got none left. He is going to still take the timeout. Smart move there with 5 seconds to go. You might as well use it if you've got it.
5.2 seconds left. It is a monumental day here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Early this morning, a partnership announced between the NBL and the Japanese Professional Basketball Association, known as the B-League. It's a big one. It's a memorandum of understanding to talk about the two teams working closely together to promote the growth of the sport and the respective competitions in both countries. There's Jeremy LaLiga courtside today. We'll hear a little bit more across the afternoon, but this is big.
It is, and it goes across a broad spectrum of basketball activities, from junior involvement to preseason games. Look, the B-League is well-respected, a great commercially viable league in Japan. It has been for a number of years. High corporate level involvement for decades, and it's just a very strong position for the NBL to take, and I congratulate and applaud everyone who's involved with that decision-making and activation.
100%. That's what I love about it, as we see DJ Hogue there expected to be back sooner rather than later from what I'm hearing. The bit I love about that is just another thing that generates our NBL. We see what we've done with the NBA in games that are played there. Now we're bringing in B-League. People want to be associated with the NBL, and leagues want to be associated. And it's just great. Look at that second quarter score, though, 34-15.
Great also to have the B-League's chairman, Shimada, sitting alongside Jeremy LaLiga this afternoon, taking it all in. He's picked a good game to come to.
He has, and right now, Melbourne United maybe wish he came to the game Friday night where they put on a much better performance. Right now, the Kings have restricted United to 37% from the field and only 20%, 3 of 15 from the three. So while we have been highly critical of the poor Sydney defense throughout this season, today, in the biggest game, they've stepped up thus far in this first half.
Dellavedova makes both. 5.2 seconds left. for the Kings to try and manufacture something. Sean Bruce on his way to the cup. Had United reaching in.
Well, he had a bigger defender on him and someone who's probably not comfortable pressuring the ball up the floor in that type of situation, and Bruce used his experience and the geometry of the floor, was able to draw contact and a foul. These are big 2 points here, potentially, Brad.
It is, and great coaching there by Mood as well. To be able to call that timeout, that was ran, that was played. That's exactly what they wanted to get out of that.
Nothing behind you guys.
Great work.
The Kings captain, Sean Bruce. It is going to be a really, really important lead that Sydney are taking into the long break. Their challenge is to bring all of that energy and enthusiasm to the second half. Sydney lead 58-43 over the ladder-leading Melbourne United at halftime.
An outstanding first half, perhaps one of the best halves of basketball we've seen the Sydney Kings play this season, but definitely for a couple of months. Brad, they are well positioned to get a spot in the top 4 if they can maintain this.
And that's what they've got to do.
Let's get over to Joe Healy.
Yeah, thanks. I've got Angus Glover with me. Gus, you guys are playing with a whole lot more urgency. JA's down here shimmying. What is it? How have you been able to elevate to lead by 15 at the half?
We're just talking on defense. Everyone's backing each other down that end, and yeah, it's fun to play, and we're just getting out and running.
You know they won't back down. Are there any adjustments that you want to make in the second?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about it. We've been in this position before against them down in Melbourne. We're up about this much at halftime, and they ran over the top of us in that game. So we'll make adjustments. I'm sure they will too, but we'll be ready.
Good luck for it.
Thank you.
It's a marquee matchup, and it's delivering. The first half has been one to watch. 58-43 at Kudos Bank Arena. The halftime show's coming up next in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Kings fans, they're always working for you every game. Put your hands together for Douglas Movement Crew.
So on the count of 3, I need everyone to Kudos Bank Arena right now. Well, first I went to Serbia. I played with Red Star in Belgrade. Then I went to China. I had a great time. I learned a lot. I was able to pick other good players' brains while I was over there. I was able to see that EuroLeague atmosphere. So, you know, it was a lot of ups and downs.
The Sydney Kings sit on their throne, back-to-back champions.
I was watching my old teammates. You know, Chase was still here. He was really in contact while he was over here. And so was like Brucey and X. So yeah, I really always keeping a close eye on the league. I really started watching it again when the playoffs. So I don't be going to sleep either. So I just, you know, typed it in on YouTube, and next thing you know, I'm up till 5 in the morning watching them win the championship. So it was special.
Gets to the basket. Oh, goodness, Jalen Adams. What a play.
Just the environment, man, the love that you get shown, just by the community, then the fans, of course, and the front office. Throughout the first half of the season, we wasn't even winning like that, and it still just felt like home. Like everybody still treated you the same. Everybody was just showing support. So, you know, it's like as we started to win, it just started to grow, and it started to feel more and more like home. And the way they treated my family when they came for the playoffs, it's just always gonna have a special place in my heart.
Yes, welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It is halftime here at Kudos Bank Arena. The Sydney Kings leading Melbourne United by 15 points. Joe Healy and Derek Rucker with you. Dee, a massive game. We love this rivalry, but there aren't many people that would have expected this scoreline at halftime.
Well, I was one of those people that would not have expected this at all, but the Sydney Kings have come out and played dominant defensively, have done a fantastic job on the offensive end, moving the basketball, getting people involved, and Jalen Adams has been outstanding.
You mentioned Jalen Adams. Melbourne United had his number the last 2 times they've played, but he is having a significant impact out there as we look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights. Well,
he's been really smart, Joe. He's been attacking the bucket. He realized early on that this was going to be his way to success and to help lead his team to a victory in this game. Melbourne United have not been able to guard him no matter who has been given the assignment. He's caught Ariel Hukwarty in mismatches at times and has been able to exploit him very well. If you look at him in this game and the Blackmore shot chart, look at that. All attacks at the rim. He hasn't made a perimeter shot yet, and there's no need for him to attempt any with the success he's had. He's made 5 layups in this game, and he's doing a fantastic job not only of generating offense for himself, but secondary offense for his teammates as well.
Yeah, great work putting pressure on the rim, Jalen Adams. We love the battle of the bigs in this one too. Ariel Hukwarty for Melbourne United. He's also been pretty impressive out there.
Well, he's been one of the few shining lights. He's been able to get up and down the floor and create offense in transition. He's dominant in there when you let him get on his left hand. He's doing a fairly good job of rim protection, but that dunk right there was a huge highlight in the first half.
I love putting you on the spot at halftime. Who wins from here? What's going to happen?
I think the game means too much, Joe, to the Sydney Kings. We've seen them blow leads like this to Melbourne United this season. That's not going to occur today. I think it means too much. They understand now how they can beat this team, and I think Jalen Adams right now is the premier player in this game, and he's going to carry this team forward.
Well, they are the back-to-back defending champions. The crowd at Kudos Bank Arena are absolutely loving this one. Stay with us. The second half is coming up next. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Scan the QR code to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and listen on the way home to today's game. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the big screen for all our members' birthdays. Happy birthday. A shout out also to Chloe Kalinsky, Ted Bayless, Hamish and Hills Hornets, Jackson and Malay, Boston, and a big welcome to Levi Tamblin. There you go. Happy birthday, everyone. Kings fans, here's some big news for you. Listen up. Hoops Capital is on a mission to take grassroots basketball to new heights in Sydney, and we're doing just that. We're excited to announce the launch of the Sydney Kings and Flames Youth League.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. I've got Sydney Kings assistant coach Fleur McIntyre. Fleur, 43 points for Melbourne. That's better.
Yeah, definitely better. I mean, I think we've done a pretty good job in their coverages and what they're trying to run. So for us, it's about possession, which has been the story of our season, the inconsistency. So hopefully we can keep that going in the second half.
Yeah, so inconsistency, another 20 minutes. What have you said to the team to make sure, because you know Melbourne are coming back?
Oh, 100%. They're always coming back. And we've just talked over a couple of their plays at half-time to reiterate how we want to guard certain actions. So I think it's just keeping things fresh in the guys' minds. And I think offensively we're doing a really nice job of just spacing the floor, moving the ball, making the extra. I think it's just keeping that mindset and being locked in for the next 20.
Now, I know as a Sydney person, I'm going to say I'm going to miss you so much, but let's just say it, we are all so proud and happy. WNBA, you must be so excited.
I am. I mean, I said the other night on the broadcast, I'm really emotional. I'm going to miss you guys too. I'm going to miss this place. I'm going to miss this team. But, I mean, it's a great opportunity. But right now, it felt very real this week when I got announced. But, you know, the here and now, you know, they're my guys. I don't want to leave them, but I'm excited for the new challenge.
We love you. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
We absolutely love it. That's Fleur McIntyre, who's headed to the WNBA to be the Assistant General Manager of the Phoenix Mercury. Derek, what an incredible opportunity for such a wonderful person.
It certainly is, and she's had a huge impact on the success of this Sydney Kings championship run, and she deserves everything that comes her way. And what a fantastic place to go to, Brad. Wow. Phoenix, Arizona. Not sure if you've been. I recommend visiting, and you were doing your best to get an invite in that interview. Shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, I felt it too. It's got to be said.
Yep.
You could chaperone Fleur, like Derek's going to chaperone our Reebok winners.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm just happy to go and watch.
Now, the second half is the big issue here for Sydney. In the two games they played this year, in round 8, Melbourne won 105-93. Melbourne outscored them 67-40 in the second half. In round 14 here, outscored them 63-45 in the second half. So plus 23 in Melbourne in second halves against Sydney this season.
High attention span must be dedicated to that man right there, Chris Goulding, and that is not the start the Sydney Kings were looking for. They had held him to 1 for 7 in the first half, 1 of 6 from the 3, but letting him get that little bunny to start the half, not a good one.
And from a Melbourne point of view, a good one for Goulding too. Only had 3 points to his name in the first half. It's a nice, easy one to get him going. Adams, 1 on the shot clock. Hunter, hard of the cup. Well, it didn't draw iron, so that'll be a shot clock violation.
Well, Hunter's not happy. He felt he got fouled. But this is a key 5 minutes. Derek, you said in the first half, Melbourne 7-game away from home. How are they feeling in their second half? If you give them a run, this is going to be tight. Otherwise, you can come out here in Sydney in this first 5 minutes and go, whack. No, you haven't got today.
Miscommunication between Dellavedova and Goulding.
Goulding made a cut, and Dellavedova interpreted it as a scoring cut, and hence we get the turnover, threw it into the front row.
The Kings 6th on the table coming into this game, 11-13 for the season. Their biggest problem is that everyone else around them keep feeding each other to keep this thing interesting.
Well, the biggest change here that you can see is Ian Clark is not starting the second half, where they have brought Illy out. That says the frame of what Dean Vickerman's like. No, we don't give up that many points in a half. We go back to what we used to do, and that's get Shea. He'll pick up Jalen Adams, and he'll make sure his life's tough and get back to that defensive stance that's been so good for Melbourne United.
Well, Ian Clark was a -11 in his 14 minutes, whereas Shea Illy was a -2.
Goulding from a long, long way out, off the back of the rim. Porty kicks it back out to Dellavedova. Trying to keep it alive a second time. Melbourne's three-point shooting woes continue. Now 3 of 17 for the game.
Got it.
They normally shoot it a lot better than that. Travers lays it up. Nice finish. Melbourne have got the first 2 buckets.
I might blow a timeout here if I don't get something on this possession, because you can just feel things shifting a little bit, and that's what they needed. They needed Adams or Valentine to get the usage rate going. Stop messing around. Go get the basketball. You guys are the guys that have been driving this in the first half. Don't back off now.
20 points or more in each of their last 5 games. Jalen Adams, 24 on Thursday, and they lost to Southeast Melbourne. This is their star in the first half with 13 points. Is it almost the Cotton approach with Adams in the second half, Derek? Does everything just go through Jalen to start with, if you're Sydney?
We're at that do or die point of the season. And as this game goes on, every play becomes magnified. And when that magnification increases, Brad, I want the ball in my guy's hand.
I agree, but it's got to be careful. Like, Bryce is a very good decision maker, and he plays. Adams, very good, but can sometimes have the tendency to over-dribble a little bit, where he's not getting his players in.
Foul on the Wallachul, who will pick up his third. It was only subbed back into the game. Now Melbourne have got a decision to make.
I'll let it ride here if I'm you. What would you do, Derek?
I would do the same. Let him play.
Yeah.
And right now, Melbourne United 3 of 18 from deep.
Dellavedova 0 from 4, Golding 1 of 7. Travis blocks Jalen Adams. Wallachul he found, had the seal. Melbourne get it back to 10.
Great work by Travis, but great rim to rim by JLA, and planted himself inside. They just waited for everyone to clear. Then he had a nice open bucket.
6-2 run to start the third quarter. Melbourne looking to bridge a 15-point halftime gap. Here's Glover right in front of the Melbourne bench. He left that short. You can just imagine the conversation that Dean Vickerman had with this group at the main break. So far, they've responded. Illy with another 2. Timeout, Sydney.
You called for it, Derek. That's not the start they wanted in that first 3.5 minutes. They've come out here on the back of what I like, Shea Illy's defense.
It's one move, one personnel move to have Shea Illy start the second half, but what a difference it's made.
It has, and right now the Kings highly threatened by this championship infrastructure of Melbourne United. We talk about it all the time. We saw it best displayed Friday night. It's showing up right here to start this second half.
Hey, y'all two better wake the hell up. What the hell are you doing in the pick and roll? You're supposed to be up and then get under. You're not waiting for him at the free throw line. That's exactly why I want him to push up. Be smart. All right? Hey, offensively right now, they're just up into us. They're being more physical than we are, but we're not getting stops, so we got to go against a set defense. That's the difference in the game right now, all right? Hey, we're going 4 down, all right? 4 down, 4 down, 4 down, 4 down, all right? Zell, you're catch. Play out of pick and roll. You and Jonah. You and Tona, pick and roll. Let Boosie handle. Come off the pick and roll.
Well, the one thing I take out of that, Derek, what I love, and I have listened to a lot of his timeouts this year, it was all about defense to start with. I'm not happy with it. He looked straight at Alex Tui and said, that's not what we do on the on-ball, and that's what's hurt them these first few possessions, and it was all about how we get better at that.
And he's taken Jalen Adams out of the game. Going to go with a different looking lineup. He got Bolden back in there. Bruce and Malawach, guys who provided excellent energy in the first half. Critical juncture of the game, Jack.
Alex Tui might have also got the message. He's sitting at the moment. must-win game for the Kings. Lila Chill sat off Sean Bruce. And he can't make them pay. They've scored 8 of the 10 points in this quarter. Bruce picks up a foul at the other end. What's turned, Derek, from a Melbourne point of view? What's been better in this third quarter?
Obviously, the injection of Illy totally changes their dynamic. He's doing a very good job defensively. But on the other end, right now, there's no way I cannot have Jalen Adams in the game. If he's healthy, as Travers gets a dunk to cut this lead to 3, I've got to have Adams in the game. Why is he not in the game?
59-53. And all of the energy that was in the building in the first half is being slowly sucked out by the visitors. That time an offensive rebound for Bolden. Shot clock at 9. Dellavedova all over Valentine.
Great defense.
That's world-class defense right there. Wow.
That is just great defense, just better offense.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to say luck. He just threw that up there and wished for the best.
11 points for Denzel Valentine. He becomes the 3rd King in double figures. Melbourne only have 1 in Luke Travis, who's their leading scorer with 10. Hasn't been Golding's afternoon. 2 of 9 becomes 2 of 10 off that miss. Valentine no good from the elbow. Love a whistle for a foul there. So
one of the things you look at the Sydney Kings and what have they got to do? Look where they're getting the ball. Ball doesn't go inside the three-point line. Everything's outside. They kick, and you'll see Sean Bruce gets a wide-open 3. That's not what the Sydney Kings want to be playing. It's when they get off on balls and get into the seams, that's where they play better.
Well, we saw Adams Blackmore's shot chart at the half, Brad, and he had 5 buckets at the rim. Let's see if they can get back to some pick and roll stuff, generate some mismatches, and pick up their offensive productivity.
Clark in the corner, feet set. Another who's not having a good day shooting the ball. That lob was a little ambitious for Malawatch. This time Clark happy to put the ball on the floor. Chul couldn't keep that alive. So 4:16 remaining. Melbourne have cut the deficit from 15 at halftime to 8.
And they're getting good looks. Ian Clark, that's 2 good looks that you want him taking. But right now, I think I'd be going back to that man, JLA. Let him see what he can do down low.
Earlier this afternoon, Illawarra defeated New Zealand in a brilliant exhibition that went right down to the wire, 89-85. And this is the last game of round 17 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Bruce has had a couple of attempts this quarter, still can't get it to go. Bolden crashes the glass. And it's controlled by Travers. Lila Chill, good deep from Malawatch. Better offense, though, from Melbourne.
An excellent offense there. That bucket was generated by Chris Golding, setting a nice screen on the ball. A rare 2-5 on ball. Results in a good bucket there from JLA.
Tony Krebs and Kyle Bowen set a check back in. Malawatch off the bench, gives them more punch. He's got 8 points and has been +5 in his time on the floor. Playing a very handy role for them. Illy, shot clock at 5. It rolls. Six-point game at Kudos Bank Arena. There's the quarter-by-quarter breakdowns. You can see how Melbourne have made their move. Still no good, Sean Bruce. They're almost giving him that now.
Well, they are. JLA's guarding him and not even looking to go out there on the three-point line.
Clark early in the offense. Strong rebound by Luala-Chul.
And the Kings looking disjointed, and the mere fact that they haven't come out with the expected level of energy has given United life. You can see the United bench is now up. They're full of belief. They realize a 6-point lead is nothing with this much time on the clock, Brad. It's a game.
Oh, yeah.
And Melbourne are the best fourth quarter team in the competition. They'll be well aware of that. They've won 14 final turns across the season, more than any other team. Double comes for Hook Porty. This time Dellavedova. He'll bank it home. Bowen with another big offensive rebound. Up top for Krebs. Got it!
Well, Bowen's been outstanding. Just the physicality of him down low, getting that offensive rebound, hitting it out to Krebs. Watch this bench team go to work out here. They love it.
Owen has 4 offensive rebounds to back your point. We look at the Harvey Norman replay. Krebs gets that one in rhythm, straight over split line. Look at this. Straight shot, Brad. Pow.
20 points to 5 in the third quarter. The ladder leaders are making their move. Great look for Malawatch. Has had a big afternoon.
That just eases the anxiety somewhat in the building, but don't get comfortable. You're playing against the best team in the league.
Bowen tries to respond. A minute 30 remaining in the third term. Malawatch drew a closeout that time.
And there's a timeout from Melbourne. Malawatch going to work out there today. He has been giving them injections for the past few weeks, but for today, knocks down the 3 in the corner, up fake, layup. Kings by 8.
That's a way to make a name for yourself. Big stage, big occasion. McQuatch Malawatch has 13 points on 5 of 7.
He just knocked down the 3, so he was smart enough to show Porty the ball, knowing that he'd be stressed out and overreact. And then once he plants the feet in the lane, Brad, he is an elite-level athlete. He just gets up and makes his decision in the air. And the decision there was just a simple finger roll.
It's a big crowd. They're all the way up this afternoon at Kudos Bank Arena. It's another big afternoon in our Pump by Reebok seats. That's Dom Thomas, who's a creator that's worked with a variety of brands, including our very own NBA 2K, who the NBL are involved with. And right there is Ali Morfitt and Laura Gardner from the Sydney Swans AFLW team, both AFLW All-Australians this year. And Laura, there in the grey, was their best and fairest. Ali, on her phone, was 3rd in this year's best and fairest count as well. So, as always, the hottest tickets in town.
She's texting her teammates saying, you should have been at the Kings game today. We got the great seats. We get to hear the commentators talk. Where else would you want to be? Although this morning, Brad, I was over in your neighborhood, had breakfast at Bondi, North Bondi to be exact. Thought about inviting you, but I thought that might be too much for you to be with me in one day.
Oh, it is. It's a struggle enough for 2 hours. I did get a call from Bondi asking why you were there.
Clark played through the bump. Coach Abdel Fattah not happy. He's saying that there was no contact, but the call is for a push from behind.
I know the front guy used his own.
Okay, one shot, let's go.
And the rare teammate possible block shot that results in a bucket, Brad, after a foul.
Well, it's a tough one, and that's where you do question burning timeouts earlier.
I'm never doing it. I'm not a fan.
For the coach's challenge.
No teams without a coach's challenge. After burning him in the first quarter, Krebs gets to the other end really quick, and we've got a 3-point game.
And Sydney must not let the ghosts of this season come back to haunt them right here. They've got to exercise all those demons and just get back to playing good basketball. I know it's hard, but it's do or die.
Dellavedova chasing around Jalen Adams. Oh, he just found a way. 16 now for Jalen Adams. Dellavedova's pass goes astray. Got it back. Krebs. Can't make it count. Big hustle from Bowen. Loose ball in the corner.
Great effort.
He steps out of bounds.
Unlucky. Great efforts.
Put that guy on my team.
Yeah.
Kyle Bowen, like you said earlier, Brad, Hiram Harris, these types of guys, look at the work they do. And yes, you did step out of bounds. Your hustle was great. Correct call, referees.
4 offensive rebounds for Kyle Bowen, the most in the game. He's done some very important things for Melbourne.
One possession time here for the Kings. At the worst, they should go into the fourth quarter break up 5.
Shot clock switched off. Shea Ely now guarding Jalen Adams.
Oh, he's holding an ankle there. That did not look good.
You don't have a review remaining. Hey, you pause that.
He's going straight to LeBron. Unlace your laces and tie him back up tighter.
Coming forward, he picks the ball
Yeah,
up
a bit of a
and
roll on the
himself.
ankle just on the left side there.
Why you can instigate that discussion with him.
Still went a bit early, Brad,
Yeah.
leaving 5.7 on the clock. It's not ideal.
So many referees that can't react to this. We've had plenty of plays where he has created contact. I've got you forward creating that contact on that play.
16 points, a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists. He's the leading scorer in the game right now, Jalen Adams. You talk about exercising the demons. For him, 9 and 8 in his 2 outings against Melbourne this season, so much better performance.
Well, prior to that last layup and now shooting this, it was 22-8 is the quarter. They've scored 12 now. He's missed those.
Hook point, he gives it straight back to Sydney. It'd be fitting that the Poch Malawatch scores the final bucket of the term. He's been the unlikely spark off the bench. And Sydney takes the momentum into 3-quarter time. 72-65. We are set for a big finish at Kudos Bank Arena.
on our hands, the Kings leading Melbourne United by 7 points heading into the fourth quarter. But they led by 15 at the half. Dean Bickerman really happy with the United defence at the moment. They're slowing the Kings down in transition and picking up their man earlier than they were before. A frustrated Ariel Hukporti there at three-quarter time, but they're just focusing on the positives here as they look to close this gap.
Thank you very much, Joe Healy. A quarter to go at Kudos Bank Arena. That last turnover for Melbourne, a costly one.
Huge, and I'm sure Dean Bickerman would have been very happy with the performance until that turnover and the little mini jump shot. As Adams unsuccessful in his penetration.
Hunter, Adams, Glover, Bruce, Malawatch on the floor for Sydney. Lualachul Jr., Dellavedova, Clark, Travers and Illy for Melbourne United. They were going Friday night. They're not today for Lualachul Jr. Malawatch, the hero of the third quarter. He couldn't score. Hunter tips it in.
And good offense there. Penetration led to a great look, and sometimes when guys are that open, it leads to, ironically, Brad, better offensive rebounding possibilities.
Lualachul has a fumble. And Glover got in the passing lane. A minute gone in this last quarter in a must-win game for the Sydney Kings in the context of their season. And Adams makes that turnover, number 11 for the Kings.
That's just too loose with the basketball.
Yeah.
Given the context of this game, chance to really get some energy into the building with a play there. Missed opportunity.
Out of those 11, Jack, 4 of them from Jalen Adams. Got to take care of that ball.
Shot clock down to 9. Shea Illy running the point for Melbourne United. Little runner doesn't count. United 17-6 on the season. They've locked away their spot in postseason. Just a question of where they finish now. Bruce wasn't hitting them in the third quarter. He starts with a big one in the fourth.
Well, he didn't shoot well there in the third quarter, but the coach has said, it's okay. I've got your back. He pointed to the bench after he hit that three. And now they try and get the stock down the other end.
Golding ready to check back in for Melbourne. He's had a pretty quiet afternoon by his lofty standards. Here's Clark trying to get busy. That's class. Banks it home and brings it back to 10 points, the difference. Bruce turns the corner. Reset with 5 on the shot clock. Safely taken care of by Lualachul, the pass. Not quite as safe. You got Hunter up in the air. D from Malawatch, though, he stepped in.
Outstanding anticipation and commitment to holding his ground.
Ian Clark with a hand in the face. He was fouled by Hunter. And 3 free throws coming for the visitors.
No, he doesn't.
Smart play from Clark, realizing he's got Hunter out there in a space where he's uncomfortable. Lures him into this foul here. Unnecessary. Just a strong contest will do. Now that's Hunter's 4th foul.
You can download the NBL app now. It's got all of the live ladder, the stats. How many times a week are we all refreshing the ladder at the moment to try and make sense of what's going on? You can download it now.
Well, I refresh a lot, Jack, and it still makes no sense.
What about the NBL app?
That makes plenty of sense.
Got it open right now.
If you would have said to me at the beginning of this game that between Delhi, Clark and Golding, they would be 6 of 28.
Ouch.
And still in this game, That is scary times because you know they're going to come good.
But that's the thing about those guys, and I've learned a lesson with Deli and Shea Ili. You can't always evaluate those guys by the numbers.
Yeah.
And that's why if you're a heavy analytics person and you're not doing the video work, you're not getting the whole picture. And, you know, Shea Ili and Deli do so many other things, and when you're in the venue and watch them play, you realize that.
7 points the difference. Sydney led by as much as 15. As we headed to half-time, I should say. Had the better of them in the third term. Glover stepping back with confidence. Started the game today. Didn't see a lot of him in quarter number 3. That was the shot of a man who was perhaps a little cold. Clark slicing and dicing. Hook Porty left it short. And there's Glover. A low-scoring start to this last term. Valentine assesses his options. 5 on the clock. His touch is spot on.
He's very good. He backs him down and loves to go back over his left shoulder for the right-hand hook. One of his favourite shots.
Travers inside. What a pass for Hook Porty, who's fouled hard.
He gets hit by 3 people, he doesn't clear out. Marco, I've got Bolton, you've got Bolton.
Let's have a look at the replay here.
2 shots.
It looked like Bolden's right hand may have gotten Porty across the face.
Hey,
there.
I understand he's done that, but... Okay.
Obviously, obviously a foul, Brad.
Yeah, that's a foul.
But I didn't see the clearing out that Coach Abapata was looking for.
Well, my question to you now, Derek, is I thought taking out Jalen Adams was probably not a bad move because he was doing that over-dribbling bit, but they've taken him out. Now the question is 5 minutes 30, out by 8, free throw. How much longer do you keep him out?
Well, I'm probably going to bring him in at the next break, get him in for Bruce and tell Bruce to stay ready.
Hook Porty takes care of both. The other from a Melbourne point of view is Chris Golding. 2 of 10 for the afternoon. How do you get him involved in this late stage?
I'm sure he'll find his way, but right now they need to slow that man down as he has come in and provided big threes today for the Sydney Kings. That gives him 11 points.
Big bucket from the captain and some breathing space for Sydney. That's tough from Dellavedova. The last 5 minutes at Kudos Bank Arena in front of a crowd of 12,921 in the house for Sunday Hoops. Again, it's Valentine late in the clock. And again, gets to his spot. And this time, will shoot free throws.
Well, you're right, Brad. You look at the Harvey Norman replay. Valentine's done a good job of penetration and creates an enormous amount of space for Sean Bruce to line it up. Now, they've gone with the substitution here. Bruce thought he was coming out when Adams came in. They made a change and brought out Malawach, which is understandable. After Bruce knocks down that last 3 ball, you need to go with hot people now.
Yeah, and look what's on there. Everyone can shoot the ball. This opens it up. I think Adams is going to get the ball with Jonah Bolden setting screens, have the other 3 stretched out to the floor. Now allow Adams to attack the rim with Jonah rolling.
Well, you've got a lot of pressure on the Melbourne United point of attack defenders. 4 guys out there can really, actually, all 5 guys can put that ball on the deck and make plays for the Kings.
Adams, Glover, Bruce Bolden, Valentine out there for Sydney. Dellavedova, Krebs, Hook Porty, Golding, and Ili for Melbourne United, who trail by 12. Golding, there it is.
It's only a matter of time. He understands the moment better than almost any other player in the league. And you see him stepping back away from that. That's a high-level shot.
And a groan from the Kudos Bank Arena crowd. That's the last thing that they want. Is Chris Golden getting hot late. Bolton a turnover.
Yeah, that's going to be intentional.
And a pretty straightforward call for the officials.
Go, James. Pink 43, unsportsmanlike foul.
Jonah was a bit rushed here. We have a look at Golding. His hips are moving backwards on the catch, Brad. He's so talented and technically sound that he's able to raise up and knock down that jumper.
And now it's the next one. You just said it before, Jack. How do you get him involved? Well, he's just hit a tough shot in a tough day for him. Delhi goes to the free throw line, will take these free throws. Now run a play for him. And there's Jonah Bolden's 5th foul. Jordan Hunter comes back in, he's got 4. And they've got to be careful here. Derek, you were there on Friday night. You take a Hunter out of this game. Now JLA, that's a big presence for them to go inside. Right now, I'm going to him. I am going to him. Run that play for Chris, see where he's at, then JLA, get it inside here.
And if I'm Sydney, I'm putting JLA in a lot of pick and roll, trying to get him matched up on someone like a Valentine. See if they can take advantage of him out on the perimeter.
He's got a mismatch here in the low block for Luala-Chul. Sydney do well to get the ball out of his hands. Golding from deep. Not that time.
Good basketball both ways.
Kings will be happy to absorb all of the available time. Valentine for Malawatch. 17 now.
You just got to keep that kid in the game. He just finds the right spots, finishes well, doesn't need the ball to make good things happen.
He had 18 here last Sunday. He's backed that up with 17 on 7 of 10 this afternoon. McQuatch Malawatch.
Shut this down, Sydney fans. I want you live. Defense.
United from the baseline. 86-77. Illy left open.
JLA got away with a push in the back right there.
The Kings have had a couple of wins at the other end, but that is going to hurt them. Offensive foul on Sean Bruce.
Put them in the cage.
And Dellavedova and Sean Bruce having a chat about things.
Hey, Chris, time out. Time out. Time out, benches. Time out. Time out. Time out, guys. No, don't come under.
They're still going. Tensions are high inside Kudos Bank Arena.
I'll come at the end of the timeout.
Oh, Derek, I love this. That is just 2 teams that just want to win, and they don't like each other.
Well, we know anyone who's been involved with the Boomers program, NBS, no backward steps. And 2 guys couldn't be more symbolic of that than Sean Bruce and Matthew Dellavedova. Brucey seeking some confrontation. Delhi generally willing to generate confrontation. Great matchup.
Three minutes remaining in this one. It's Sydney who have led for most of the afternoon. From the second quarter onwards, they have led. $86-77 at Kudos Bank Arena. 3 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. The Kings in front. It's tough, it's tense, and it's tight. As Dellavedova and Bruce go at it.
Well, not too much different than the foul we saw the other night, or the no call on Aaron Baines. But look, both of these guys, NBS, no backward steps. Bruce always looking for it, and Dellavedova no stranger to the confrontation.
Oh no. 2 warriors of the basketball court.
Jonah Bolton has fouled out for the Kings. Jordan Hunter playing out there with 4. Kings by 9. Golding, catch and shoot. It's short. Bounces off the face of Adams.
Love that offense. Love that offensive set. Going back to Melbourne, I think.
You're right, Brad. That was a well-designed and executed play. And Chris Golding just missed the shot, but kudos to the coaching staff for coming up with that one and to the execution. Travers is going to come back into this game.
Tanner Krebs checks out. Joe Healy courtside.
Yeah, I was just listening to the Kings timeout there. Coach Moog talks pre-game about simplifying things for the players, and that's exactly what that timeout was. In a set, good defense at the moment, guys. Let's keep our heads defensively. It doesn't matter about the refs or calls. Just stay level-headed.
They've done so much right this afternoon, Sydney. They will be well aware that Melbourne will be with them until the very end. Golding, lost possession. Valentine for Glover. Kings by 11. 2:25 to play. Malawatt's got a hand in. What desperation from Sydney. They're playing like it means something right now.
And driven by Malawatch and Glover off the bench. These guys have provided the energy, the excitement, and the productivity that we've been waiting for all season, Brad. Valentine, hand on the ball. The red-headed Rocket knows how to finish it. Two-hand slam, Angus Glover.
Here's the ladder as it looks, Brad. Sydney sitting in 4th position. Should they hang on to this result?
Well, it's exactly the way they should have come out of Thursday night's game, because it was a loss you just couldn't have. But right now, this bench crew are giving it to Melbourne United.
12,921, making all the noise they can. A 13-point lead. And it might very well be enough for the Kings. We're inside the last 2 minutes. Sydney have scored the last 6 points in the game. Dellavedova forces his way in.
Tough. Now you just take the air out of the game. Get a good 20 seconds here. They will double. And get a good shot.
Time is Sydney's friend. Shot clock rolls down to 5. Valentine for Hunter.
Well, I have been saying this for weeks. He is the best screen and roller in our game. The way he comes off hard, sets a nice pick, and then goes up hard to finish it. Great work.
A great job there by Denzel Valentine on the on-ball. Was able to get the matchup and the alignment that he was looking for. And then got the nice drop down to Jordy Hunter, who displays great timing and space and feel as a roller out of pick and roll situations. He's got 2.
Ten points, 8 rebounds for Jordan Hunter. This free throw means everything to the Kings. It's back out to 13 with 1:22 to play. It's going to take something very special from here for Melbourne. Travers, it must go down, and it does. There's a pulse. It's a faint one, but there's a pulse.
Sean Bruce is coming in the game for Angus Glover. Good knockdown 3 by Travers in that last possession. When do you start fouling, Derek?
Yeah, I think you try and get one more trap. They tried.
Kings have cracked the code. Malawatch dribbles it out all the way in, can't score. Hunter with the offensive rebound. Bruce inside, Valentine not that time. They just can't get that final bucket.
Well, that's going to be free throws for United. Not really what the Kings wanted, but with 7 seconds left, and United, they've only got 2 fouls, so that is not on their side.
Valentine very disappointed with himself that he wasn't able to finish that playoff. Probably went a little bit carefree in there. I thought he could have gone in there and punched it.
The Kings will play Adelaide in Adelaide on Friday night in front of what's going to be another massive crowd at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
Scotty Innes and that team are doing an outstanding job at the moment. And Adelaide got them a couple of weeks ago on that same venue, so that's going to be a ripper game.
And Melbourne United will host South East Melbourne on Saturday in a throwdown. Don't forget the round starts on Thursday. The Cairns Taipans will start us off at home at the Convention Centre against Tasmania. And then that marquee Friday night game, as we mentioned, Adelaide and Sydney. Valentine is fouled by Krebs.
I thought that foul may have come several seconds earlier just to start to burn him up, but I think Melbourne United are semi-resigned to the inevitable.
And we speak so many times about the Kings. It's a pretty simple basketball game as a timeout's called. 84 points from United. That's how you win basketball games, Derek.
And they've restricted them to 21% from the three-point line. Just an outstanding job overall. And this is why they have that 8-point lead.
Jalen Adams has been outstanding. Denzel Valentine likewise. But Malawatch, when the game was up for grabs in the third quarter and the start of the fourth, gave them something. 17 points on 7 of 11.
Well, he's just given them that punch that you need. 7 of 11, like you said, at 63%. And it's the simple things. He doesn't need a lot of the ball to make things happen. You see here, wide open, knocks it down, and that just comes, you look at it, Derek, repetition. You said it before. Knock the 3 down, the next one, up fake. That's it in the quarter. What a wow of a game he has had.
And I like the fact that he can come in this late in the season and have enough belief in himself and have an impact in big games. Look at the Blackmore shot chart. He's been outstanding. Anytime you can get 17 points off of only 11 shots in a victory, you know you've been a key contributor. And now the Kings have another piece. They've got a guy that can deliver in a big moment.
Well, they do, and now is the biggest problem. Where are they going to fit him in? If you've got Galloway coming back and Adams, Galloway, and then you've got DJ Ho coming back as well, it's a big problem.
The final stages of the game. Bruce will try and inbound and does. And that's going to see us out. We're just about done at Kudos Bank Arena. One last possession to finish off. And we'll have a foul before that.
Hunter will go to the line and try and pad these stats. Nearing a double-double.
And we may still have a timeout yet from Melbourne United. And the Sydney Kings, Brad, have navigated their way through some potentially choppy waters late in this game and have done it in a really professional manner.
Yeah, they have. And you got to put it in context. Giving up what they did against Southeast Melbourne, Phoenix, and you go back a few weeks ago for what happened in Adelaide, and they just didn't play with that heart, taking nothing away from the 2 wins. It's the way they lost. But they've come home here on both occasions. And the question is, and Derek, I know I listen to you guys in your NBL Now and your pods, that this is the situation. They've got to keep going. It can't be one-offs.
You're right, and they have the talent to win the championship, okay?
Yeah.
We saw a glimpse of what was possible a couple of weekends ago against New Zealand on this court. Now we're seeing it here against Melbourne United, the league leader. Is this real? Is this sustainable? Can they replicate this performance on the road?
Here is what's coming up next week in round 18 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We mentioned that it's Cairns and Tasmania on Thursday night. The Taipans may have just hurt themselves in a big way with their losses in this round.
Yeah.
Illawarra and Sydney, Derek, is a big one on Saturday as well, particularly for the Bullets after losing on Friday night.
It is, and then you've got, you look down there, the Jack Jumpers and the Sixers. I don't care which game you're watching, they all have playoff ramifications.
Yes.
Every team is still alive, including Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Well, the only thing you worry about is Melbourne are the worst team to play against when they've lost something like this.
Correct.
You know, and not only that, Dean Vickerman has got the whole week with them. These players are going to have a tough training schedule, and now he's preparing, because when we get into playoffs, they haven't had a whole lot of back-to-back games. Now this is like playoffs, right, Derek? You get that, and if this is how they're going to be in back-to-back games, that can hurt you down the stretch. So he will be talking a lot about that.
Fans on their feet at Kudos Bank Arena, and a quick bucket for Melbourne.
Let her run, Sean.
They take it back to 7.
No, after basket, you can't run, my bad, my mistake.
Sydney need to be careful. Just take care of things. Valentine threw a long pass that was intercepted by Lawala Chul. Travers, 3 doesn't count. That might have very well been the last chance, and now Joe Lawala Chul, he just wants to have a fight with anyone. First it was Bruce, now it's Valentine.
Help me then. Oh, yeah.
Well, there's certainly something in the air, Jack.
Is there ever?
The hostilities are high here at Kudos Bank Arena as Bruce attempts a block out. JLA took exception to the technique, and then Valentine, not afraid to go nose to nose with JLA. Wow.
It's been one of those afternoons.
Well, I don't think it's over yet. The referees are having a chat here.
You're not wrong, Brad.
Contact with the head with the Chul.
Just keep an eye on Sean Bruce. He's never far from it.
He had his eyes on him the whole way down.
While the Chul leans in.
Then I've got
Menacing.
a single foul on Chul for contact at the head of Bruce after that.
And I'm not sure how many events we're invoicing for here to Jack here at Kudos Bank Arena. But it's thrilling to say the least.
Wow. The officials assessing this last one. What about the atmosphere, though, all of a sudden? That's been doom and gloom for the Kings over the last 6 weeks. That's like a party right now.
I do give this Sydney public credit for staying behind this team when they had every right not to show up, Brad. They continue to come and get at least 12,000 in here, game after game. Obviously, during the pink hoops round, they had 16,000. I'm just telling the truth.
He's been giving it to the Kings, but today, I'm so happy for him, Derek Rucker says. I've been down to Bondi, Brad. I love Sydney.
Yep.
After this, the Kings, as we mentioned, have got Adelaide next Friday night in round 19. We're all back here when they play the Illawarra Hawks. And then round 20, they are at Southeast Melbourne. Who is going to make the final 6 this season? It's anyone's guess.
Well, Jack, you alluded to next round schedule, and you know, Tassie and Cairns, that's a massive game. Tasmania have not been playing to the level we probably expected, Brad. They've been losing some tight games, especially at home. So that's a big one going up to Cairns. They drop down to 12 and 13. They start messing with the play-in realm.
They do, but I like what you said. You can see their percentage at 105%.
Yes.
They're losing, but they're right there.
Yes.
They're not losing by 20 and 30. They're right there. I just love Scott Roth, love that program, and it's a small tweak, in my opinion, that as soon as they get going, they're fine.
So a normal foul and then an unsportsmanlike on Joe Lawala-Chul. And that'll be his afternoon done. Delhi fouls out, Lawala-Chul fouls out.
Damn. Jack, you pointed out before, this arena, everyone is on their feet. The music's blaring.
2 here and then 2 inside. Yeah, I'm just trying to ask. Pardon? 15 shooting first, and then Bruce yes.
That look tells the story for Matthew Dellavedova. It's been the pattern for Melbourne in their last 6. They've gone loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, and now a loss today.
So, Derek, I'll put you on the spot when I say this. It is no worries, but when does it start to become one where they're not playing like they were at the beginning of the season?
Oh, I think Coach Dean Vickerman would be there right now.
Yeah.
Especially looking at Perth getting people back.
Yeah.
Alex Sarr looked pretty good last
So we've
night.
got the first foul after the rebound, which is the bonus situation. So that's why we shot the first 2. Then we've got an unsportsmanlike foul after that. For Bruce, that's why he's shooting 2. So Sydney will get the ball after this.
Well, good referee there, just explaining why there is so many free throws.
No, one's on Delhi, one's on Joe. Sub! Go! Let's go, guys! We got the sub. Yeah, sub in.
Sean Bruce comes out. 12 points, plus 15, and he annoyed all of Melbourne United. He did his job. Glover puts the icing on top of the cake. And Sydney smile in a way that we haven't seen them smile for quite some time. 98-86, when there could only be one result today for Sydney. They found a way to make it happen.
They absolutely needed this type of performance. They got it, Brad. Outstanding defense, and they showed a vigor that was much needed.
Well, there's our Foot Locker player of the match, Malawatch. How good was he? 18 points, 7 of 11 from the field. Yes, there was some good players. Adams played well, Hunter, Glover, but that man right there, he's balling today and helped them and was a huge part of why they got that win.
Well, one of the most balanced Sydney attacks of the season. 7 guys in double figures. They shoot 51% from the field. And overall, one of their shining lights this season.
The Sydney Kings improve their record to 12 and 13 now in the season. And just when it looked like things were slipping away, they dig deep for their most meaningful win of the NBL24 season. 98-86, the final result at Kudos Bank Arena. We're back to wrap it up on the other side of this.
What an inspired choice that was. David, let's see if he can get one more. Home game to go, one more. Make sure we pack that shit up. Now, not one more, Tony. One more college qualifying, one more regular season home. Okay, regular season home. Well said, Eric. Well, we need to win, so one more regular home season game. We're going to pack it out, Kudos, Mangarina. Let's get it going. Let's get another W. We're back. I feel it. 18th of February. We got a big game coming up. Flames are going to be here, not Key Center. We want 10,000 people here for the Flames.
$98-86, the final result this afternoon on what was a wild afternoon at Kudos Bank Arena. It was all happening all afternoon long. So much emotion, so much tension in this game. And Sydney win a must-win game. I don't know how we're going to sort this top six out. We've still got 3 rounds to go.
It is a mess, and you look at it, that victory puts the Kings in 4th position. They go on top of the Bullets. But if you look at it, everyone is alive with some massive games coming up. Unless you're a soothsayer or a psychic of some form, Brad, I don't know how you know how it's going to wind up.
Well, as good as everyone's feeling, I'm sure the Perth Wildcats are as well. Look at that, 16 of 8, 16 and 8. They are a chance for top spot well and truly now, and that is home court advantage throughout the whole time, and you know what that means over there.
And speaking of what it means, it meant a hell of a lot for the Sydney Kings today. You saw the ladder and saw what a loss could have done for them and what a win has done for them. And well, very quickly we turn our attention to what's coming up next week. Cairns and Tasmania on Thursday night. Are we drawing a line through the Taipans yet?
Oh, certainly not. They'll be at home, and similar to the Sydney Kings today, they will understand how important it is to play well and try and win that game against a teetering Jack Jumpers.
Yeah, I agree. Taipans, you know they'll bounce back. He's a great coach, 40, and he'll have them fired up for that one.
So many big games across the round. Tasmania in action again against Adelaide on Sunday. You do not want to miss a moment of what's coming up in the Hungry Jacks NBL. On behalf of Derek Rucker, Brad Rosen, Joe Healy and our team who are the best in the business, thanks so much for being with us. What an afternoon. What a season we are having.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.